Good day, everyone. Let us simulate a match in Club Manager to show you how that all works. So I've set a team up here. I'm not saying this is my final team in preparation for the match because what we need to do is find out who we're playing. Now, Club Manager has 8 teams in every league. We are team 1, and this is week 24. We're away to team number 4. So it's actually the last game of the season, I think. Yeah, it is. The league finishes after this one. So we're away to team number 4. Now, they'll have the home advantage, as you'll see in this match. Let's have a look at who Team 4 is. Good news is they're not very good. Mill Hill Athletic are probably the worst team in the league. So they're a team you'd expect to get some points off in your first season. What's a smart thing to do is to scout your opponent before the match and work out what formation you're going to play against them. What do we learn here? They're very weak in the central mid. So they've only got 2 midfield players and they add up to a total of 4. So we might look at our team and say, well, how can we make the most of that? We look at our midfield here, and that's this bar across here, and they add up to 3, 6, 9, 12, plus a bonus for the captain, 13. So I've got a 13 against their 4, so I should win that duel quite comfortably when it comes to it. But maybe what's a smart thing to do is to take Powell here, who can play centre forward as well, and shift Powell into that centre forward position, because A, it means I'm still stronger than them in midfield, but B, it means I can now really take them on with my attack against their defence. Their defence is 8. My attack is now also 8. So that gives us the best chance of winning the match. So always adjust your team before kickoff, depending on who your opponent is. So on to the match then. Let's play the match. And at some point, I might use my tactical card, which allows me to re-roll my defence die once. So we'll come on to that if it's necessary, if the situation calls for it. Here's how matches work. We look at different areas of the team. We match my area against their area, and we add a dice roll. And whoever wins gets one of these beautiful chance cards, which tells you whether or not you've scored a goal. You'll see them in just a second. So, on to the game. We start off with my left against their right. And these cards have been made in a way so that they match up. So their goalkeeper, which you can't really see, I'm going to fix that in the final version, is there. So their right adds up to 11. All we do from our left is add up these 6 squares. And what have we got? We've got 3, 6, 9, 10, 11 against their 11. So both teams have an 11. We take the D12s and we roll them. And whoever comes out on top and this dice off is going to win because we're starting 11-11, right? So roll the dice, and I'm the red team. Hang on, that should be a yellow dice. But do you know what? I'm going to take that victory because it's such a comprehensive one. Should have rolled the red dice, the yellow dice. Doesn't matter. I've won the duel. So we take a chance card, and what's it tell us? Whoop, goal! What about that? Start to the game. 1-0 to Fulwell United. Fantastic. The next thing we look at is the centre. Now, the centre are these 9 spaces here. Now, you might have noticed already that includes these 3 players who were a part of my left. Yes, it does. So the most powerful positions in the game are those 3 and those 3. So we always try to make sure that they're filled. So let's add up these 9 spaces here. It adds up to 3, 6, 8, 11, 14, 16, plus, because he's my captain, Harrison has the captain ability, you get a +1, so I'm a 17 in the centre, and they are a 12. So I'm 17, they're 12. In other words, I'm 5 better than them. I always think of that. The difference is 5. I'm the red dice. I start with a 5 difference. Let's say that's a 9. They've won the dice off, but only by 2 because I was 5 better than them to start with. I get the chance card. What's it tell us? Oh yeah, counter attack. So they get a chance card now. Oh my goodness, they've scored. However, what does it say at the bottom? I've printed this too small in the prototype. It says no goal. So it's a VAR check, no goal. So the score remains 1-0 to me. Very close thing there. The next matchup is my right against their left. So my right is what? That's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18 against 10. So I'm 8 better than them before the dice roll. And I have won that comfortably, as you'd expect. Chance card for me. It's another goal, and it's no VR check. 2-0 to us against Mill Hill. Okay, the next thing we check is flair against strength. So players who have a star have got flair, and I've got none in my first team. I've got a sub here, Callahan, who has it, but he's not on the field, and I'm not allowed to make any subs just yet, so I can't bring him on the field. So I've got no flair players in my squad. They have 0 flair players in their squad, so therefore no one gets a card. Now let's say I had 2 flair players in my first 11 here. They've only got 1 strength. See the strength indicator there? It's the same here that Hendon has, or Aitken has, my goalkeeper. If I had more flair than they have strength, then I get a free chance card, and vice versa. It works the same way for them. But anyway, none change hands. So they're the home team. So we go through this sequence with their forwards against my defence. So their forwards are 8, and my defence is this back 4 here, which is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 8, 11, that's +3 for me. How about that? They've slaughtered me. Now, the thing about attack versus defence is, if attack beats defence, they get 2 cards, or whoever wins that gets 2 cards. First one is this, saved, question mark, test goalkeeper skills. So my goalkeeper has a skill of 3. If they roll higher than a 3, they score a goal. They do. It's 2-1. 2-1. And then they get their second card. Remember, attack beating defence. It's a miss. Thank goodness for that. Next up is midfield against midfield. So mine adds up to 7, 8, 9, 10. And theirs is 4. Come on. +6 for me. This has got to be a win. Oh my goodness, they've beaten me. Look at that. They're 8 better than me. So my +6 counted for nothing. Is this the equaliser? Tackled. I forgot. It's 2-1 to me. Did I say that earlier? Who knows? Right, so now we're going to move on to my attack against their defence. I'm on 8 and their defence is 9. So remember, I'll get 2 if I win this. They are +1. That is a 6 and they rolled a 5. So their +1 becomes nothing. It's null and void. It's a draw. So no one gets a chance card there. Then the next thing you do is away team's choice against home team. So I get to pick, I'm the away team, and I'll go for the midfield here because I'm 10 against 4. So I've got a 6 difference, which is pretty strong. And I've just beaten them. That's 5 there. So I've just beaten them. I get the card. It's a save. It remains 2-1. Home team choice. So what would the home team pick in this scenario against me to give themselves the best chance of winning? Well, they need a goal as well. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I suppose in reality they would go with their defence against my attack because they've got a +1 advantage. I might need to build something in to the game to say that's not that sensible, but we'll give it to them. +1 advantage for them. Boosh, I've beaten them. And it's not sensible because I get 2 chance cards. Saved and tackled. And then the final action of the game is the home team advantage. The home team gets a card. If this is a goal, it's a draw. Ooh, it's a test goalkeeper skills. Can Aitken save it? So remember, if they roll higher than a 3, they score. Oh my. For the draw. Oh, it's a 5. It ends in a 2-2 draw. So there we have it. That's how matches are played in Club Manager. Oh, one other thing to show you is the post-match dice. So take this dice here, and you can see there's a collection of red cards, injury tokens. You've got this one here, which means butcher. So players with that characteristic get affected, or injury-prone players get affected. You roll the dice, or that ended on nothing. I'll show you what happens if it ends on something, if it ever rolls. Oh my goodness. There you go. It ends on an injury-prone player. And if I had any injury-prone players, and I do, look, Williams in my squad, then they are now injured for 2 weeks. So they go up here into my -2. And I put an injury token on Williams. And that's how that works. So it's a draw, 2-2. I get 1 point in the league. That could be crucial for working out where I play football next season. I did forget to use my tactical card, but them's the breaks. I was much better than Mill Hill Athletic in that game, but nevertheless, it ends in a draw. And I hope you enjoyed that quick look at how to play matches in Club Manager.